Hey, 6th grade. This is a follow-up video for those of you who are not at the Zoom this morning. You didn't hear what I'm about to tell you. So if you were at the Zoom this morning, you should probably still watch this because it's going to give you some useful information that we didn't talk about this morning. But this is a video to help you get ready for your last test you have for me all year. Isn't that very exciting? So yeah, tomorrow, 9 a.m., you got 45 minutes to do it. It's going to be on Google Classroom. It's open book, open note. You can use the internet, use whatever you want. Just don't use each other to complete this. The test is pretty standard. It's what you're used to doing. So once again, let me remind you that tests are 40 points and that the vocab is only worth a very small fraction of those 40 points. So there's 5 vocab questions. They're 1 point each, except for the last question, which is actually 2 points, and you'll see why that is. All right, so in total, 6 out of 40 points on the entire test are vocab. So do not waste time on the vocab, all right? It should take you seriously, like at most 10 seconds to do a vocab question. If it takes you longer than that, don't do it. In fact, I told you guys this last time, I'm going to remind you again. Don't even look at the vocab until you're done with the rest of the test, because it's really not worth you spending time doing. If it means you're going to not finish one of the other questions. All right? So, just some basic ideas you should focus on when you're studying tonight. You need to know names. So not only the Greek gods and goddesses, but you also need to know who Pericles was, who was Cleisthenes, who was Sophocles, Aeschylus, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Thucydides. Right? These are all names that you're going to need to know. Now, what's good is, because this is open note, if you did your study guide, you should have all those names out in front of you, so you can just look at the name to match it to the person. All right? Okay, questions 6, 7, and 8 are short answer questions. Remember, you do not have to write complete sentences for this. A lot of you complain that you don't have enough time on these tests, and I think part of the reason you're running out of time is because you're writing like paragraph answers to the short answer questions. Don't do that, right? If you want to write a paragraph answer, do it for the long answer questions, not the short answer questions. Remember, short answer questions are just basic factual information. That's all I'm looking for. I don't need you to be thoughtful. I don't need you to explain yourself. I just need the correct answer, and then you move on. So yeah, 6, 7, 8 are short answers. And remember, because the vocab is not worth very much, that means the short answers are worth a lot more, okay? I think the short answers are going to be worth about probably a third of the total points on the test. And then, of course, the biggest chunk of points comes from the long answer questions. So the long answer questions are probably going to be about like 18 to 20 points. That's probably about half the points on the test. They're going to be from questions 9 and 10. So do not, I repeat, do not run out of time during the long answer portion. If you are smart, this means you are going to start off by doing the long answer portion. I know the long answer questions are the most intimidating and they're the hardest, but you need to have plenty of time to do the long answer questions because they are worth the most points by far. All right? So when you take this test, the very first thing you should do is scroll all the way to the bottom and do the long answer questions first. Then do the short answer questions, and then do the vocab. All right? The reason I'm stressing this so much is because these long answer questions require a little bit more writing than you're used to. All right? You're actually going to have to write paragraph responses to these questions. So you need plenty of time to do it. Again, you have 45 minutes to take the whole test. So if I were you, I start off by doing numbers 9 and 10, and I spend about 20 minutes doing questions 9 and 10. All right? That's 10 minutes for number 9 and 10 minutes for number 10. That is a good amount of time to write out your long answers. Then I do another 15 minutes on the short answer questions. That's 5 minutes per question. All right? And then that leaves you an entire 10 minutes to do questions 1 through 5. And you don't need that. Seriously, you could do questions 1 through 5 in like 2 minutes. All right? So that gives you 8 spare minutes. That is plenty of time for you to go back and check answers and do whatever you want to do. But of course, you're going to have to start on time. I cannot tell you how important it is that you start on time. Again, like with the religion test, the last one, I know a lot of you did not start on time, and that hurt your grade because you ran out of time. So again, 9 a.m. All right, topics you should focus on. Other than those names that I gave you, you need to know the differences between the Athenian assembly and the Spartan assembly. You need to know things that helped Athens to become a democracy. You need to know how developments in the military of the city-states of Sparta and Athens and other city-states helped the poor achieve more political power. All right, so there are some military achievements and developments that made poor people more important, more powerful. So what are these developments? And then I am going to tell you what one of the long answer questions has to do with. One of the long answer questions has to do with Greek cultural or artistic achievements. All right, so be ready to write a long answer question about that. Okay, that's it. Remember, if you have questions, you can ask me on Classroom or on Remind. And I mean, people don't really do this, but I guess if you really wanted to, you could call me during the test and you can ask me a question. But I would not recommend that because that phone conversation might take a while, right? If you can just ask a simple question on Google Classroom without wasting too much time, that's the way to do it. Okay, good luck. I'll be on Google Classroom tomorrow, 9 a.m. And yeah, I guess that's it. All right. Have a good day.